you want to retire early? Because that's the question that I asked on Instagram, and it was overwhelming yes. So that's what I'm going to chat to you about today on my little live. Just thought I'd show you this little view. This is actually my parents' place, and this is a view that I had every day when I lived here from my childhood. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to jump in the car. That's what we're going to talk about. So, slip her in there. You hop up there for a second. Now, and I'll go here. So yeah, on my Instagram, Crypto with Dinny. If you're not on my Instagram, you're missing. Look at that big mirror in the way. Is there any way of mitigating that? I think normally I do it this way. Will it work this way? Will it flip? You can't turn your device while live. Okay, sorry. You're gonna have to just suffer on with that mirror in the way. My bad. But sure, there's bigger problems in the world right now than having a mirror in the Facebook live shot. So retire early. I asked the community on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram if you're not. You're missing out on some amazing stuff. I said, who wants to retire early? And it was overwhelming. Nobody voted for no. So everyone wants to retire early. And I'll chat a little bit about that. Because at Crypto with Dinny, you know what we do? We teach people how to build portfolios to retire early. That is what we do. But I'll chat to you a little bit about it. I've just sort of 3 little things that I want to drop in the mix. So not necessarily crypto related, but if you want to retire early, there's more than just crypto. Guys, remember your daily exercise, hit the like button. If you're new here, welcome to the community. This is where we teach you how to retire early. We do free workshops, and full disclosure, I do paid consulting and paid workshops as well. But let me just get out of here and try not to scrape me bumper as I'm getting out of here. The first thing is, let's say if you're on Google Maps, okay, and you want to go somewhere, what does Google Maps need from you to help you get to any destination you want? It needs to know where you are. It needs to know your exact location. And this is why when people say to me, do you want to retire early? And I'm like, well, do you know your exact situation? Do you know what your cash flow is like? And they don't. It's just hopes and dreams of wanting to retire early. But they don't know where they're at. They don't know their exact financial position at the moment. So the very first thing that you need to do is to make a plan, a financial plan. Do a financial statement. Understand where you are right now. And then you can forecast how long it's going to take you to hit that financial freedom number. Understanding what your number is important as well. You know, there's different levels of being retired. There's being retired and not having to work and living frugally. And then there's a retirement where you can be as extravagant as you want, and there's no way that you can spend all that money, that you will die before you spend all that money. So there's different levels. The first basic level that I wanted to get to, that I was able to achieve in my later 30s, was to be able to get to the freedom number, that if I lived frugally, I never had to work again. So that's like, I'm like, let that be your first port of call. Get there first, and then start building the extravagant plan if you want to hold off on that retirement. So the first thing is to make a plan though. Just like when I go onto Google Maps, it needs to know where I am, and if it doesn't know where I am, it's not going to be able to give me a plan to get to my destination. You know, destination is financial freedom. I don't have to work again. But unless you know where you are exactly right now in the here and now, it's impossible to ever get there. And I like that little analogy with Google Maps. And guys, let me know in the comments if this stuff makes sense, if you get value from this, and just become part of the community by throwing in a comment. The second thing, if you want to retire early, okay, is I used to teach this on my free workshop, but then some of my coaches were like, Dinny, that free workshop is like, people come in for a free Bitcoin Basics workshop and you're teaching them how to retire early. It's too much. They're not interested in that. You're gonna have to shorten it. So I had to take it out of the workshop. But I call it Dinny's LBM technique, and it's called live below your means. I only seen it there on Twitter this morning that Elon Musk, there was a time in his life when he budgeted $1 a day for food. So anyone who's created wealth has done this for a period of their life, in that they live below their means so that they can generate assets, so that they can generate the wealth. Because if you're always living at your means, or like most people, above your means, how do you accumulate your assets? How are you accumulating assets? You're not. You're just accumulating liabilities. So therefore, you're just self-reinforcing this vicious circle that you're going to end up stuck in, which is just debt upon debt. And we're back. I'll put the boot down there trying to get through that internet black spot. The LBM technique is to live below your means. Okay, so when you've done your plan and you understand your financial statement and you know what your cash flows are, by the way, I teach all this stuff. It's called Vinny's Retirement Club. But when you understand and you have your plan, okay, and you know your cash flow, well then you live under that cash flow so that you're able to build up what's called investable capital. Now there's a couple of ways that you can put your money to work. All right, one, the best return on your investment that any human will get is to invest into themselves, because you are the greatest asset. Okay, I don't know how much I've invested into myself in my life, but I guesstimate that it's possibly 6 figures in my education. Have I got a return on that? Yes. I had the option to retire in my late 30s. That's not normal. Most people don't get to retire in their late 30s. Okay, but the only reason I achieved that is not because I'm super smart. You know me by now. But it's that I got a good return on my investment. So education is the best return you can get in your money. All right. The second place where we can invest, okay, when we're living below our means, is into business. All right. If you want to create a business or build a business or start a business, start a side hustle. The whole tax code is incentivized for people to create businesses. Okay, people who work for businesses, the tax code is very hostile. But a government wants people to create businesses because that creates jobs, that creates GDP, and that means there's less mouths for them to feed who need handouts. Okay, so the tax code is incentivized for you to create a business. And remember, for those of you who don't understand tax, if you're on the higher tax bracket, you work 6 months of the year just to pay tax. So you work from January to the end of June. Not for yourself, not for your family, just to pay tax. And then the other 6 months you get to work for yourself. And if you're on the low tax bracket, you probably work 4 months of the year just to pay tax. So if you can find a way of becoming more tax efficient, it's definitely going to help you to retire early. But that's Dinny's the second thing. And then the third investment is obviously to invest into assets. If you want to be wealthy, then what wealth is someone who owns more assets than liabilities. And what financial freedom is someone who owns, whose assets give them the cash flow that they never need to work, that their assets produce cash flow. Okay, but the only way to get there is the Dinny's LBM technique. Now, you know, it doesn't have to be Dinny's LBM, live below your means technique. It can just be fucking Johnny or whoever's listening. All right. Now, the third and final little tip, guys, hit the like. And by the way, if you enjoy these videos, hit the share button. It helps get Crypto with Dinny out there, helps more people find the channel. The next couple of years are going to be very hard for people. All right, there's no denying that, especially with what's going on. We printed all this money. Like, what is money? You have to question that right now, because what we think is money, it's not money, because money should store value over time. Like, toilet paper is better money than money, because in 5 years' time, here's a Dinny prediction. In 5 years' time, toilet paper is more expensive to buy in 5 years than it is today. Therefore, if you get rid of all your money that's in the bank and just buy toilet paper with it, in 5 years' time you'll be in a financially better position, because that toilet paper will be worth more and your money will be worth less. And that is the irony, okay? And most people don't understand this, and it's important. My mission is to teach it, because the people who understand our system are already wealthy, and they leverage that fact to create more wealth. As an investor, 2020 was was the very best year of my investing career. 2020, my business was closed, all right, and but I made so much money by doing nothing, just by owning assets. The problem is, it's only wealthy people who own assets, and the middle class just own their asset is cash, and cash is trash. Okay, there's a war on cash now because it's being devalued so much. So help me get the mission out there. Share the Bitcoin love and share the video, or even tag. My last tip: if you want to retire early, you've got to think differently. Okay, because if you want to achieve something that other people aren't achieving, you can't do what other people are doing, because the average retirement age in Ireland is 67 years of age. So if you do what everyone else does, that is what you're going to get. Alright, so for me, I don't mind being a little bit fringe, being called a lunatic, going a little bit against the grain. I accept that I have to do that if I wanted to retire early. That was part of it. If I was doing what everyone else was doing, I was going to get what everyone else was getting, and I didn't want that. Okay, and they're my 3 little tips, and they're only little small things. They're not really crypto related, but hopefully there's a little bit of value in them for you. Guys, if you want to learn more about Bitcoin, check out Bitcoin Basics. It's free, it's on this Thursday. Jump onto cryptowithdinny.com, get a ticket, and I'll teach you the basics of how you set up a Bitcoin pension plan to retire early, because Bitcoin will retire people early. Those who do the work on it will retire early. And I was able to find my early retirement before Bitcoin. If I understood Bitcoin, it would have been a lot easier. That's why I'm passionate about teaching this stuff and helping people understand it. By the way, guys, I hope you're having a good day. I have a podcast out in the morning. I think you're going to enjoy it. Who's on tomorrow? Danny Brewster from Fast Bitcoins. Danny Brewster has been an early Bitcoiner. He's set up a lot of companies and built them into space. So check out the podcast on YouTube. That'll be dropping at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for dropping in the comments. And remember, 1, 2, 3. Make a plan. Live below your means. And make sure you're not doing the same as everyone else. Alright, Dinny out.